All right, so schedules of reinforcement are really important when we're talking about operant conditioning because one of the biggest questions is how often should we be reinforcing? If we're trying to get somebody to increase their behavior, what is the best kind of schedule to do this on? Okay, do we need to give a reward every time or is that even best? So B.F. Skinner experimented with the effects of giving reinforcements in different patterns or schedules, as he called them, to determine what worked best to establish and maintain target behavior. So what he found is that in continuous reinforcement, which is giving a reward after the target every single time. Okay, so every time the behavior is performed, they get their reinforcer. Okay, the subject acquires the desired behavior very quickly. Okay, but with partial or intermittent reinforcement, which means you only give rewards part of the time, the target behavior takes longer to be acquired and established, but it persists longer once the rewards are stopped. So continuous reinforcement definitely works faster, but partial and intermittent reinforcement kind of creates a stronger reinforcement. So what are these different schedules of, partial or intermittent reinforcement? Okay, well, we may schedule our reinforcements based on an interval of time that has gone by, okay, or we may plan for a certain ratio of rewards per number of instances on the desired behavior, okay? So when you see an interval, we're talking about time, how much time has gone by since the last reinforcer, okay? And when we're talking about ratio, we're talking about a certain number of times that the behavior was performed in between reinforcers. Okay, so within intervals, we have what we call fixed interval schedules and variable interval schedules. Okay, fixed interval schedules are going to say you're going to get a reward every hour, you're going to get a reward every 2 days, you're going to get a reward every week. Okay, variable interval schedules say that the reward after a changing or random amount of time passes. Okay, so there's not a set amount of days, weeks. Maybe you get paid on Monday and Tuesday, and then again you get paid. Then you'll get paid Friday. Then you won't get paid again until Wednesday. So you never really know when it's happening, how much time is going to be passing between when you are going to get the reward. Now, with fixed ratio schedules, okay, the reward happens after every X number of target behaviors. Okay, so every 5 times you pull the handle on a machine, you are going to get a payout. Okay, variable ratio schedules is the reward is after a randomly chosen instance of the target behavior. So you don't know how many times you're going to have to pull the machine to get the reward. One of the reasons why gambling is so kind of addicting, slot machines for instance, is because you never know how many times you're going to have to pull that handle or press the button, I guess today, until you get that payout, that reward. Okay, so again, fixed means set amount. Okay, variable means random amount, non-set amount. Okay, interval means amount of time that has passed. Okay, ratio means number of times that a behavior has been performed. So which schedule of reinforcement is this? Ratio or interval, fixed or variable? So a rat gets food every 3rd time it presses the lever. What would that be? A fixed ratio, right? Because every 3rd, so there's a fixed amount of time and its number of responses, so it's ratio. Getting paid weekly no matter how much work is done. This would be fixed interval, okay? Getting paid weekly, okay, is interval, and then fixed is also fixed because you know how much time has to pass. Okay? Getting paid for every 10 boxes you make. This would be a fixed ratio. Again, it's fixed. You know exactly what you have to do. Okay? Hitting a jackpot sometimes on the slot machine. This would be variable. You never know when it's going to happen. Okay? Winning sometimes on the lottery, you play once a day. This would be variable interval or variable ratio, kind of just depending on how you interpret the once a day issue, because that could be, considered more a time, more of a number of responses, not necessarily a day, a time. Checking a cell phone all day, sometimes getting a text. This would be variable interval. Okay, buying 8 pizzas, getting the next one free. Fixed ratio. Okay, fundraiser averages 1 donation for every 8 houses visited. Variable ratio, okay, because it's an average, it's not fixed. Okay, kid has a tantrum, parents sometimes give in. variable ratio. Okay, so again, we're going to go over this. We'll work at this a lot more in class, but if this is something, take a minute, pause it here if you need to go back and read through these and look and make sure you understand why they are what each one is. Oh, sorry, I missed one. Repeatedly checking the mail until your paycheck arrives, fixed interval. All right, so what are the results of the different schedules of reinforcement? Which reinforcement produces more responding, the target behavior? Well, fixed interval is slow, unsustained responding. If I'm only paid for my Saturday work, I'm not going to work as hard on all the other days. Okay, so fixed interval does tend to have a very slow, unsustained kind of response. Variable interval has a slow, consistent response, okay? If I never know which day my lucky lottery number will pay off, I better play it every day. Okay, so fixed intervals, much more slow. It's slow, not necessarily sustained. Okay, variable interval is slow as well, but it's much more consistent. Okay, fixed ratio, high rate responding. Buy 2 drinks, get 1 free. I'll buy a lot of them. Okay, so there's a very fast, high rate of response. Okay, variable ratio, high, consistent responding, even if the reinforcement stops, meaning that it resists extinction. So if the slot machines sometimes pay, I'll pull the lever as many times as possible because it may pay this time. Okay, so again, each of these schedules of reinforcement have different uses depending on how fast you're trying to adjust behavior, how fast you're trying to reinforce behavior, or is it consistency you're looking for. All right, so we're going to stop here and pick up punishment in the next clip.